Hey, friend. It is good to connect with you. It's been a while since I've been live, and I had a interesting experience last week before I went away on vacation that I wanted to share with you, and it has to do with trusting your intuition. I'm kind of curious. Have you ever had like this inner prompting, this inner spirit, this inner voice speak to you? And have you ever had the experience of not following through on it and later wishing that you have? Yeah, I'm sure, probably many of you have. And I know when I get those inner promptings, I need to pay attention because usually it's something really important that is being done, if not for me, for somebody else. And so it's important that we pay attention to these things. So I recently had an experience that's really cool, and I wanted to share with you. Last Friday night, I went to Costco to do some shopping to go in preparation to go away for my trip to Connecticut this past Sunday. And while I was there, they had some sofas there that I was looking at. I've been looking for to buy a new sofa because the ones that I have, the black ones, are torn between the dog claws and my kids. So I've had them all taped up with like black, what do you call it? The the thick black tape, and so I've been just waiting and looking for the right sofa for the right price. I didn't want anything cheap, but I didn't want anything super expensive. So I happened to be at Costco, and they had this sofa, and I pulled it up online and noticed that in the store it was $250 cheaper than buying it online through Costco. So I was looking, and they had five of them in the store. That was all they had. So I thought about it. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do this right now. I'm getting ready to leave on this trip. I don't want to deal with this. And so I left the store. I came home, and the next day, Saturday, the day before I was leaving, I had my boys, and I had this inner prompting, like this, that inner spirit, that inner soul speaking to you. And something said to me, go get the sofas. I had to buy two of them. I didn't just have to buy one, I had to buy two. So I had that feeling like, go get the sofas and go get them now. Don't wait. So I'm like, all right. So I called on my older son. I'm like, come on, we're gonna go to Costco. I'm gonna need your help. He's like, what? I don't want to go to Costco. I wasn't planning on going to Costco. I'm like, I know, but we have to do this right now. It's really important. So I go to Costco, and just as I arrive, there were there were five, and one was being taken, one was being bought as I arrived. A woman was looking at one, and then I was buying two, so there was only going to be one left. So as this woman is looking, I was showing my older son Eric the sofa as well because he hadn't seen it. And we were waiting, and I decided, all right, I'm going to buy two of them. I had no idea how I was going to get it home. I drive a Subaru. I wasn't even going to get one in my car, let alone two in my car. And so I'm trying to figure out like how am I going to do this? How am I going to get them home? Because when you buy something from the store, they don't offer delivery. It's cash and carry. So I'm talking to the guy at the store, and he's saying, you'll have to pick it up by the end of the day. They won't hold on to it. I'm like, oh my gosh, like I wasn't planning on doing all of this right now. So the woman that had been looking at the sofa and sitting on the sofa went to go rent a truck from Home Depot. And I didn't know this, but her mom was with her, and she was standing there, and I was talking to my older son saying, maybe I could get a truck from Home Depot. And this woman said, my daughter just did that. And I'm like, oh. And I said, I'm kind of curious, like, where do you live? And she told me where her daughter lived. Her daughter was purchasing this for herself. And it turned out her daughter literally lived like a half a mile down the road from me, which is crazy. So it's just her and her mom. Her mom was probably around 65, 70 years old. And it was me and my son. So she goes over, she gets the truck from Home Depot. They only had the one truck. It was a Saturday. So, of course, they only had the one truck, right? So I'm like, how about would you be open to loading all three sofas on the back of the truck? And my son and I will help move your sofa into your place. and then you could drive the truck over to my place, and we can unload the sofas to my place, and then you could take the truck back. They were so appreciative. Like, yes, they were like, oh, yes, for sure. So the Costco guys load the 3 sofas onto the back of the truck, and we do this. And we get to their home, and my son and I unload the sofa for them. They drive over here, they unload the 2 sofas here, and she drove the truck back. And they were the nicest people. And we were able to help each other out. It was like a win-win situation. It didn't cost me. I didn't have to pay for shipping to have them shipped. It's like, to have them shipped. If I bought it online, it would have been $200 for each sofa to have them ship it and deliver it. So the sofas online were $200 more a piece, $250 more a piece, and then they wanted to charge $200 to ship each one. It's like just a ridiculous amount of money. So I wound up getting these 2 sofas for $250 off the online price. I didn't have to pay for shipping or anything, and we were able to help this woman and her mother out to get their sofa in. I came home and I was just in such a state of awe because not only did all of that happen, we had the resources to make all of this happen, one, two, three, but as we were standing there, the last sofa also sold. So had I not arrived right then and there, had I not responded to that inner prompting, I wouldn't have gotten the sofas at that cost. I wouldn't have been able to solicit the help in moving them, and it was an awesome experience, all because I just responded to that in the moment. Do this now. Do this now. And so I'm kind of curious, like, have you ever had those experiences yourself? And like, what kinds of cool experiences have you had when you responded to that inner guidance? What was your experience? I would love to hear, because I love hearing stories like this. And maybe you received one of those inner promptings and you didn't follow through. And you've had that, like, oh, I should have responded, and you didn't. And later, maybe you felt a little bit of regret for not doing that. What was that experience like for you? Share that, because I want to hear these kinds of things, because I believe that there is something guiding us, something that is bigger than us. And whether you call that God, or you call that the universe, or whatever that is for you, that is bigger than you, that you believe in. I know what it is for me. But whatever that is for you, do you listen enough to it? Are you tapped in, tuned in, and turned on to that inner guidance that I believe we all have? Drop that. Share what you think in the comments below about this, because I love talking about this stuff. I'm actually fascinated by it. I love seeing people experience these. They're like miracles. It feels magical when it kind of happens. And yeah, so I wanted to share this, and yeah, let me know your experience with trusting your intuition. I hope you're well, and having a good weekend. Love you all.